previously, I did a video on what I felt personally were like the hardest parts of living in a car or van, what have you. But those were kind of based on like if you've been living in your car for a while. And a lot of you guys have been asking like, what about the before? Like what about before you do it, before you take that plunge? So that's this. When I was contemplating like moving into my car, I had been thinking about it for a while and I was just like, why is this not manifesting itself? Like, why is it not happening? And so I did what any responsible person would do and I made a list. And so when I got done, I looked at my list and I had 5 main things. So I just want to share with you like my top 5 like major, I guess, mental roadblocks or like obstacles that I had to get over in order to make this change. Number 1 being safety. How do people live in their cars and they're okay? Because, you know, sometimes you're out in the middle of nowhere, you have to sleep in there, it gets really dark and like you know, what's up with the safety thing? So that was definitely my number 1 concern. The second one being like, where do you park? Where do you sleep? Because obviously like you don't want to, it kind of ties in with the first one, like you don't want to feel super sketch. In a lot of states, sleeping in your car is illegal. So like how do these people just like bypass the system and get away with this? And number 3 being heating and air conditioning. And I know like what is life without air conditioning? First world problems, right? But I mean, it's a thing, it's really a thing. It gets hot. And so the 4th thing on my list was hygiene. Like, you know, I like showering, I like being clean. So what do you do when you gotta poo? And like, what if I just need to wash my hands or brush my teeth or shower, stuff like that? Like, I was like, what? And then last but not least, numero 5 being my family. Are they gonna think like, oh my god, she's completely lost it this time, like she's just went over that edge, dove right off, we're never gonna see her again, she's a lost cause, rebel, wild child, somebody help her, intervention. So after I had this list and all of my 5 things, I sat back and looked at it and kind of contemplated for a second. Like when I took a second and really looked at them, I was like, all this is me being a chicken. It would be one thing if I didn't like, oh, I can't live in a car. Why? Because I don't have a car. Like, that's justifiable. It's logical. You know, it makes sense. But the reasons that I hadn't done it yet, I was getting in my way by just like overthinking stuff and wanting all the answers before I even tried it, which obviously wasn't gonna happen. I was letting like fear control me, and I mean, fear is a good thing to have, a healthy dose of it. Everything is good in moderation, but to let it control you, no bueno. Wasn't about to let that happen. I don't want to be like that person that looks back on their life, on their deathbed, and is like, gee, I wish I did that. Like, no. I want to be that crazy old person that's like, oh, I did that, I can't believe I did that, but yes, I did, and like so on. Like, I want my life to just be full of like, everything that I wanted to do, I did it. Even if I failed at it, even if I sucked at it, like, even if I tried it and then realized, no, this is not what I thought it was. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, there's no shame in like trying something and then deciding it's not for you, or even just failing at it completely. Like, it is what it is. You gotta at least give it a try. So now I just want to talk a little bit in depth about like each of those 5 things and like how I kind of dealt with them or overcame them during the beginning stages of moving into a car. So with the first one being safety, because I'm young, I am a girl. So I want to say like I'm well versed in the craziness that is out in this world and the potential craziness that could be out in this world. But it's kind of like, you know, whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen, and as long as you properly educate yourself and take the right precautions, then I think, you know, there's only so much you can do. And you know what? Thank you, Lord, but so far, like, nothing bad has happened to me, and I can only pray that that continues to go that way. I mean, hopefully so. But it's one of those things where, like, yeah, you're putting yourself in a position where some might say you're a little bit more vulnerable and susceptible for bad things to happen to you. I'm going to say that's not really the case, just because I haven't had anything bad happen to me thus far. Like I said, I'm very thankful, very, very, very grateful that that is how it's gone down. But I mean, I don't think that necessarily you're any less safe by living in a car than you are living in a house, as long as you, like I said, properly educate yourself. It's always like, safety should be like a priority. Like, it should always be on top of your mind, and you should always just be taking precautions and extra steps so that you do stay safe. And prior to moving into a car, it's like that was something that was really scary, but as all of these on the list, it's like something you're not really going to know what to do about or how you're going to feel about it until you're in the moment, until it's actually happening. So I felt like the best idea was to just go for it and see what happens. So for the second one, parking and sleeping, I kind of just stumbled onto hotel parking lots because they were really well lit, and in the area that I was, like, there was a ton of them. But you do have to be careful because some hotels will like write down the license plate like when you check in, and then go around and check, and if you are not part of like the people who have checked in and they don't have you on file, then you can get like a ticket or they can tow you. But I mean, it's the same with everything in life. Like, you just got to take your chances and see what happens. You can also, there is a really cool app that I will link in the bottom. It tells you like the Walmarts that you can park at, because in some states you can't even sleep at Walmart technically. The app will like tell you how far away you are from the Walmart, and it will tell you like how full the parking lot is or how empty it is. I've used it a couple times. I think it's really nifty, so I will share that with you guys in case it helps anyone else. For the third one, for like heating and air conditioning, obviously you can't keep your car, the heater or the AC running constantly, because you're gonna kill your battery and create all these other problems. Some people will have like, these are like mainly people who live in RVs or vans. They'll have like solar power and have like portable ACs, or sometimes even like window units or all this stuff. But when I was moving into my car, I was gonna keep it basic, like super basic. Like, I was moving into a Lancer, y'all. Like, I can't put solar panels on that. I mean, I guess I could have, but I wasn't about to. That was like not even crossing my mind. Oh, this is actually a really cool like mini story. Like, okay, so I don't know if any of you guys have like seen my Instagram, but I pretty much, it's all just like nature pictures, and I love to travel like a lot. I have a little secret. Prior to me moving into my car, I hated the outdoors. Like, nature, meh, in my book. Like, I was like, it's either too hot or too cold or too much work. Like, I don't even care, not down. When I first moved into my car, I used to get off work at like 2 p.m. And I don't know how many hours that is from 2 p.m. until the end of the day, like when the sun goes down, but it's enough to where I need to kill time. Like, I need something to do. So San Diego has a lot of like really renowned hiking areas, and so I was like, well, I don't go to the gym, I don't work out, so sure. And then so I just, at work, I asked everyone, like my coworkers, I was like, hey, like by any chance, does anyone want to go hiking with me, please? And I got lucky, and like 3 people were like, yeah, like let's go. And so it turned into like a thing. Like, we would always go like almost every other day or something like that. We would go hiking. So it was really cool because, one, I got to know my coworkers. It made me utilize my time in a way that prior to moving into my car, I would have never utilized my time that way. That I got to explore nature and like really see what it was about, and totally change my outlook on how I felt about it. That change actually was like a direct result of me moving into my car. So I don't know, I just thought that was really cool, and it was all just because I wanted to escape the heat because I didn't have an air conditioning. So then, besides the hiking, how I kind of dealt with that was like, honestly, if it was like too hot or too cold and I wasn't gonna like go hiking or something, I would like go hang out at Target. I mean, it's like free AC. I would just browse for a really long time because it was so hot. Otherwise, I would just go to a park or really just kick it outside. That was like the best I could do. So for number 4, hygiene. As for everyday kind of hygiene, like showering and stuff like that, it was definitely what I did was school, the locker room showers, or a gym. Those showers worked just fine. Or like, I would just like go camping, and a lot of campgrounds have like bathrooms and showers and all that stuff, so I just kind of like took advantage of showers when I could. And I mean, always where I was, like I had friends and stuff, so I could easily just be like, yo, let me shower at your house, like I stink, and they'd be like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, like come over. There's also a website called warmshowers.com .org.com, I don't know. Again, the link will be at the bottom. Or like Couchsurfers, like those are two really good options where like sometimes, you know, you get tired of staying in a car and you need like those household commodities. Like you can always stay with people for a little bit, you know, you don't have to, just because you move into a car doesn't mean you have to be in your car all the time. Like, no, definitely not. So those are also really good options for like showers and like hygiene stuff. Like every once in a while, just stay somewhere. Like even if you want to just splurge on a hotel, like just for a little bit. And as for number 5, my family, they just kind of saw it as like, this girl, always up to something. But luckily, my family was really, really supportive. My mom was kind of like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do with you, child? But do what you want. I just want you to be happy. She was like, please just be super, super, super careful. And I was just like, yes ma'am, heard, I got you. So anytime I'm in kind of like the dark even, I hear her voice, I'm like, oh my god, like if I get robbed or something, she's gonna kill me if I survive. So like I gotta protect myself, gotta be careful. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but whatever, it helps, it works. As usual, good luck to any of you who are thinking about living in a car or a van or who are about to. I wish you all the best of luck. And even if you're not, I hope that your life is full of many adventures and wonderful things. And till next time.